Hello everyone. Welcome back to Office 24 by 7 tutorials. In today's video, I'm going to explain validation rules, including what they are, why they are important, and how you can configure them step by step. Validation rules help ensure that users enter complete and accurate information while creating, updating, or deleting records in the CRM. Depending on how the validation is configured, it can run either before or after a record is submitted. In this tutorial, we'll create a validation rule for the Leads module. The requirement is simple. Whenever a lead status is updated to disqualified, the user must enter a disqualification reason before the record can be saved. If the reason is not provided, the system should block the submission and display a validation message. I have already created a validation for this scenario, so let's get started. First, navigate to Site Setup. Under Site Setup, open the Access tab. Here you can see the list of configured validations and visibility rules. This page displays details such as created date and time, created by, action name, object name, target field, action type, validation priority. I have already created a validation called Disqualification Reason. Now let's open it and understand the configuration step by step. First, provide a meaningful title for the validation rule. In this example, I've entered Disqualification Reason. Next, select the object name. Since this validation applies to lead records, I selected the Leads object. Now choose the trigger. I selected Before Record Edit. This means the validation will execute before the updated lead record is saved. Next, select the field name. Here, I selected Lead Status because this is the field whose value we want to validate. You can also configure specific users or roles for whom the validation should apply. Once you select the users, it will load all the users for whom this validation should apply. Select the users, or you have the option to select all users to apply this validation rule. Validation priority is? If multiple validations exist on the same object, then it will decide the priority of this validation rule. Now let's configure the validation conditions. Toggle the condition filter to Open. The first condition checks whether lead status is disqualified. The second condition checks whether disqualification reason is empty. Both conditions are combined using the AND operator. This ensures the validation triggers only when the lead status is changed to disqualified and the disqualification reason is not entered. Next, configure the action that should happen when the validation rule is triggered. Provide an action name. In this example, I entered Provide the disqualification reason. Now select the action scope. You can apply the action either in a specific field or on the entire section. Here I'm selecting Field. Then choose the target field to which the action should be applied, for example, Lead Status. For action type, select Block Submission. We have several action types in the dropdown, but for this scenario, we selected Block Submission to prevent the submission. Finally, enter the validation message to display to the user when validation fails. In this example, I entered, Enter the disqualification reason. Once all configurations are complete, click on Update to save the validation rule. Now, let's see this validation in action. I'll navigate to the Sales module, then the Leads object, and open an existing lead record. First, I'll try updating the lead status to disqualified without entering the disqualification reason. After clicking on the Submit button, you can see that the system displays the validation message. Enter the disqualified reason. The submission is blocked and the lead status is not updated because the required information is missing. Now I'll enter the disqualification reason and try updating the lead status again. After clicking on the Submit button, the validation conditions are satisfied, so the record is updated successfully. The lead status is now changed to disqualified. This is how validation rules help maintain data quality within the CRM. Without these validations, users could mark leads as disqualified without specifying a reason, resulting in incomplete and inconsistent data. By enforcing mandatory business rules during data entry, validation rules ensure that all required information is captured before a record is saved. This helps organizations improve data accuracy, maintain consistency across records, generate reliable reports, make better business decisions using complete information. That's how you can configure and use validation rules in Office 24/7 to enforce business rules and maintain accurate, complete, and consistent data. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video.